what's up, Ron here. Welcome to TimeWalkTV. I hope you're all having a great day today. If you're new here, we post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday all about Magic the Gathering. So if you want to keep up with all my videos, go and hit that red subscribe button down below. So today we were going to make a video about Arena or some gameplay with the Esper Doomfortold deck, but we ended up running into these really weird, crazy, long, grindy games with like Blue-White Control, running like Aether Gust and Mystical Dispute. And then when we ended up actually facing an Oko deck, it was a banned Oko deck, we just could not handle all the threats that they had, and it really just kind of fell apart there because they have Oko, Teferi, they brought in Tamios, they have Nissa, Hydrokrasis, Agent of Treachery, Mass Manipulation, Time Wipe to take out all of our creatures and stuff like that. So really crazy. And it was a weird game because in the first game they only had 2 lands, and then they got stuck on lands, and then they ended up conceding. In the second game, by the time we played our 3rd land on the draw, they had 7 lands in play because they were running Growth Spirals. So I mean, it's crazy back and forth, because if they had all their lands, they completely annihilated us. When they didn't have their lands, obviously they can't play any of their spells, and then we ended up winning from there. But the fact that these Oko decks have all these crazy threats, and then out of the board they also have like Mystical Dispute, and they have Dovin's Vetoes. In the Bant version they'll have Dovin's Vetoes, and then on the flip side, on the Sultai versions, they have Noxious Grass that they're playing main, and they also have like Vraska, possibly Garruk, or any kind of removal spells out of the board. So as much as we try to fight these decks or try to battle them in any way with playing all these sideboard cards in their main deck, cards that were specifically designed to be in your board for certain matchups, we're playing the main deck. Even if we do all that crazy stuff, we usually don't beat the decks that have all the best cards in it, because they get to play all the best cards they want, then they get to play 4 Veil Summers to kind of stop the black removal, and then from there, they, on the Bant side, they get Dovin's Veto and some good counter spells, and even on the Sultai side they get some good counter spells, but they get more removal and bigger planeswalkers and stuff out of the board. Even Command the Dreadhorde would be a really crazy card to have in the board of a Sultai deck. So it just shows that the format is extremely unhealthy and just not in a great place right now. I think banning just Field of the Dead, and like I've said in the past before they even banned it, is that just banning Field of the Dead alone was the biggest problem that they could have made, because Field of the Dead, as annoying of a card as it was, and the gameplays that it had was really unfavorable. I think it kept the Oko decks in check and made them not as powerful, but kind of shut them down when they were getting a little too strong. On the flip side, once they banned Field of the Dead, Oko took over and Nissa took over, and it just turned into what we have currently. Looking back, I think they probably should have banned Field of the Dead and probably Oko or Nissa. I understand not banning Oko because it is the poster child basically of the Throne of Eldraine set, and Wizards is a business at the end of the day. They are a business and they need to sell packs, and Oko sells packs because Oko is probably one of the best planeswalkers ever printed in Magic, and I'm being completely honest, I think it's top 2. It may even be better than Chase the Mind Sculptor or Liliana the Veil, to be honest, because it is seeing play and winning in Standard, Modern, Legacy, and Vintage. So it's winning in all 4 of the competitive formats that we currently have. And I'm sure it's dominating in Brawl. Probably not that great in Commander, but in Pioneer, I'm sure people will start to catch on once they're done kind of brewing and making the decks that they remember from past standards and everything. But Oko will take over Pioneer as well. So it's definitely one of the best cards that has ever been printed. So moving forward, I think Wizards needs to step up and take responsibility and just say, hey, we messed up. We should have looked a little bit further into the data that we have, and just take a look and see what the win rate was with the Oko decks and see how they work with all the other cards in those decks like Nissa and everything. Because even if they banned just Nissa, I think we would have been a little bit more favorable, I guess, because they have Oko into Nissa and Tamiyo and like all these crazy cards. I can see why they didn't ban Oko, but at the same time, Oko is unbelievable. Heck, even if they just banned Field of the Dead and maybe like a Boreal Grazer or the Gilded Goose, so that you're not getting these turn 2 Okos at such consistency, especially with Once Upon a Time. It's actually like insane. Like you can London Mulligan, so you're drawing 7 each turn till you find 2 lands, a Mana Dork, and an Oko. That will basically do it. Or 1 land, a Mana Dork, an Oko, and a Once Upon a Time. That is also a turn 2 Oko, and that's usually pretty hard to beat since he comes down and goes to 6 loyalty right off the bat. So turn 2 6 loyalty planeswalker is not very easy to deal with, even in an aggressive deck. So I think that's something that Wizards needs to address, I think, this week or very soon, actually, before the Players Tour, because if any indication of how the MCQ weekend went this past weekend with all these Oko decks playing, and just like, LSV said he played on day 1, he played 10 matches and 9 of them were Oko mirrors. So I think it's something that needs to be addressed, especially for the competitive side, because it just does not look good right now. I'm not sure there's too much counterplay, because all the block removal gets stopped by the Veil of Summers, and then they have counterspells as well since they're in blue still. So they really have all their bases kind of covered, and they can still play their main game plan of playing all these big planeswalkers and big spells like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this turns out moving forward. But for right now, I think we're going to take a break from Arena, and unless Brawl is going on. We might make some Brawl decks if you have any suggestions or anything like that. But I think I'm going to be looking into that a little bit more. Arena Standard is not really what I want to be doing currently, so I think what we'll do is we'll start to do more deck techs and some gameplay about Pioneer. That seems to be the most popular and the most talked about format currently. So if you have any suggestions or decks that you want to see me play, post them down in the comments below for sure. The description is going to have some links to some deck lists that I've been looking at, working on, especially the blue-white control deck. I do have those cards on Magic Online, and we've been kind of playing a few games here and there. Not sure how well they would do as a video for gameplay, because of how long and grindy the games are, because we will eventually get to a spot where we win the game, and then our opponent doesn't really realize it, so we have to go through a lot of steps to get the win there. So we might tweak the deck, alter it just a little bit, but just look out for Pioneer gameplay, Pioneer deck techs coming up this week. Also looking to work on a little series looking at past Pro Tours, specifically standard ones, going back all the way to the RTR standard. I guess Theros would be the first one that has all the cards that we can currently use in Pioneer, because Theros is when the rotation happened, when like Innistrad and everything got rotated out. So we'll be looking at, probably once a week, we'll be doing a video on each of the Pro Tours leading up to our current, I guess, Mythic Championships. Just taking a look at the top 8 deck lists and the deck list that won specifically, and then taking those decks and taking a look at see what we can make out of them currently, or what cards we can add or take away to make them a Pioneer deck, and just use our past data or anything that we have based on those standard decks to create a better Pioneer deck, because Pioneer to me feels more standard-esque than it does modern. So going back and taking a look at old standard decks might give us more inspiration to build new Pioneer decks, or find stuff that might be really, really good. I know, Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise, like all these crazy powerful cards, they're really great right now. I hope somebody breaks them in half so that they get banned, because they still need to make a ban list. The only ban list they have right now are fetch lands. So I think moving forward, that's what they'll need to do, is be aggressive with developing a good ban list. Hopefully not too many cards, but developing a ban list, and then after that a meta will develop, and then from there control looks a lot better. But for right now, control is kind of in that weird limbo where we need to try to answer everything or just win really fast. So my deck, goes really long, tries to answer everything possible, and then the blue-white approach deck is a little more consistent and just a lot faster of a win con with that one. So yeah, just moving forward, I think that's what we're going to do until standard kind of gets fixed or something fun moves up. But for right now, we'll go to Pioneer. We'll do some more Magic type videos. Maybe we'll do some top 10s or something like that. But definitely look out for the little series that I'm going to start with the Pro Tours, so that we can start a conversation and get everything moving forward toward Pioneer, because I think Pioneer is going to be a really, really great format. I think it's what Historic should have been. Unfortunately, that's another story for another video, but Pioneer is looking to be a great format that has a ton of support from Wizards, and hopefully like SCG starts doing IQs or opens with Pioneer. I know they've already done side events and everything, and it looks like just like different decks win each and every time. I know the format's still new, so everyone's just kind of playing whatever they want, which is great, because you want to play the decks that you find the most fun, and you want to enjoy yourself while playing. You don't want to just be like, all right, well, we're playing this event, so we got to play Oko, we got to do this. It might come to that in Pioneer, but right now it looks like that's what we're going to be focusing on, as Pioneer and maybe some other fun Magic related stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go and leave a comment down below. Let me know, what decks you want to see in Pioneer, any deck techs, or anything related to Magic. Let's go and have a conversation about it. If you are frustrated with how Standard is currently and you want to see a change, let me know, and then we will talk about it. And at the end of the day, Wizards does make all the decisions, so it's we can always just express ourselves and let them know how we feel about it, and then they can make the decision based on what data or whatever they think. But as long as we're just able to play this game, and that's all I really care about, honestly, because I just like playing it. Even if I have to play against Oko every single game, as long as I get to sit here, record some games, talk about Magic with you guys, it's just the best. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, Magic is great and so are you. Stay positive and play Island.